Welcome to episode 4 of the Mike on Much podcast. I am here with my friend and producer, Max Kerman. Max, how's it going?
Pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Actually, I'm not feeling pretty good.
Max has some troubling news for this episode. But before that, we want to let you know that even though it is only the 4th episode of the Mike on Much podcast, it is a very special episode, Max.
Why is that?
Well, it's because this is the MMVA special, the Much Music Video Awards.
We also just broke 100 Twitter followers.
Things are happening.
Yeah.
We'll get into all of the MMVA stuff. And then later in the show, we're going to have our friend Shane Cunningham come on. And he has his own MMVA story, which I am a part of as well. So we'll get into that later. But first, Max, what happened this weekend, man?
So Friday night, I went out with some friends. And then I slept at Lauren's house, my girlfriend Lauren. I drove her to this thing she had to be in the morning. Came back to my place. I'm about to go for lunch at around noon. Alex is my roommate. He says, Max, I can't find my wallet. I said, okay, you've probably left it somewhere. And then I say to myself, I can't find my laptop or my new sunglasses. I bought my first pair of non-$5 sunglasses.
It was a big purchase.
It was a big purchase.
I remember.
Yeah, I got some nice Ray-Bans. And then Alex said, Allie, my girlfriend, can't find her backpack. Oh, and also the window is propped open with a random stick from the outside world, and no one knows how that got there. It seems like we've been robbed.
You guys are like, you should be detectives that you put this all together after a half an hour of discussing this.
You're like, wait a minute. And the thing is, we leave our door unlocked all the time. So that's sort of the funny thing to me is they could have just walked right through the front, but they went this elaborate.
Took the window.
Yeah, they took the window. They want to be more like real seasoned criminals. So when the cop comes over, he's this guy, this Hamilton cop. He's really cool. Like I liked him. He was like swearing all the time, I think, and he kept on calling our house a frat house. He's like, oh, this is called a frat house, huh? I'll be pleased to say that the criminals did not take my Junos, though, that were sitting on top of the piano, nor did they take any Arkells merch, which your brother, Mike's brother, Greg, who also lives with me, said, I guess they're not Arkells fan, huh? So then I realized that my backpack's been stolen, and in the backpack, so to a list of things that are missing: my laptop, my sunglasses, my backpack. But in my backpack, there's also my passport. I'm supposed to go on a family trip with my dad and a friend to go see some baseball games in America this week. So the whole week, I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a pain. I'm going to have to go to the passport office first thing in the morning and spend like an extra like $200 to get the whole thing expedited. So that's what I do this morning. So Lauren is my guarantor. I get her to sign all the junk, like saying that I am who I say I am, all the paperwork. One of the things they say is, hey, the back of your photo that I had to take on Sunday, the passport photo, that needs to be signed by your guarantor, Lauren. It's not signed right now. So I say, oh, okay, she's standing right outside. I'm going to go get her to sign it right now. So I just call Lauren. I say, Lauren, I got to forge your signature. She's like, okay, go for it. So I forge Lauren's signature. I bring it back. I hand the thing in. I think I'm in the clear. They said, we'll probably be able to get it to you by Tuesday, 24 hours. I'm like, okay, sweet. Lauren then calls me. One of the investigators there calls her and says, so you're the guarantor for Max Kerman? She says, yeah. It's like, you signed, what did you sign exactly? She said, I signed the paperwork. She said, no, what did you sign exactly? Did you sign anything but the paperwork? And Lauren, who I haven't really told, I didn't confirm with her
that you were forging your signature.
I was forging her thing. She said no. And Lauren, here's the thing, Lauren's not a good liar. She's a very honest person. So she said, yeah, just the paperwork.
Oh.
And so anyway, the investigator goes, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later. And then Lauren calls me in a panic saying, Max, they know that, like, did you sign my name? We didn't confirm this. Now I told them I only signed the paperwork. She backed me into a corner. She has all these tactics. I felt like I was under the hot light. So then I missed a call from the government. So the government, so I called the person back. I was like, hey, how's it going? Because I know I'm in trouble. And the woman says, so Lauren says she only signed the one document. Do you know who signed the photo? So I said, yeah, I called Lauren. I've been with her for a long time. She said she authorized me. I was trying to use very official language. Like, she authorized me to forge her signature. And so the person's like, yeah, I think that's what I figured happened. I could kind of tell what was going on. I was like, yeah, but I'm in a real panic. My house has been robbed. You got to understand. And so she said, this has been given to a whole nother division of the government who are going to be investigating this. And it's up to them to review it and either like allow it or you're going to have to start from scratch. So I was like, God damn it. So anyway, as this is all happening, I get a phone call from the Hamilton police. And the Hamilton police say, got news for you.
Lauren's been arrested for forging documents.
Lauren's a known con woman.
Got news for you.
I got news for you. We recovered your laptop.
Whoa!
That's been stolen.
Whoa!
And it turns out they caught this guy in a dumpster, going through somebody's dumpster in North Hamilton. And on him, they had a laptop. And when you open it up, it says my name on it. So they called me and they said, come on down, retrieve your laptop. So I was like, yeah, all right, things are looking up, which is pretty amazing. In my mind, as I was going to the police station, though, I did have these sort of like fantasies where I'd see the guy behind a glass.
You want to confront him?
No, I kind of go the other way. I go, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to turn your life around.
Oh.
Which is so narcissistic of me.
What has happened in your life that's led you down this path?
I was like, you know what? I'm going to be your sponsor. that was the fantasy going through my head. And then I
you know what, man? Keep the laptop.
Yeah, I started envisioning like headlines in the Hamilton Spectator. R. Kelly's singer turns local, thieves his life around. Anyway, we never got to that. I just got my laptop and got the hell out of there.
Right.
But anyway, so the grand scheme of things, I am up a laptop.
Yep.
I'm down a passport. Still, my backpack and sunglasses are still missing. Haven't turned that guy's life around.
Nope.
And that was my weekend.
It looks like it's going to work out for you. I hope you get your passport soon.
It'll be fine.
Let's get into the show.
Let's get into it.
This is the MMVA special.
It's a big episode.
This week we have 3 guests. We have Debby Ryan, who is a Disney Channel star, also has a band. We have Tyler Posey, who is the star of MTV's Teen Wolf. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we have Max's close personal friend, Shawn Mendes, come on. And
my boy, I feel like an older brother to Sean.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Actually, did he call you a mentor in our interview?
I think he did. We'll have to listen.
We'll have to listen back to that. So yeah, let's set it up, Max. We're at the MMVAs. Normally at the MMVAs, because I work for Much, I would be running around behind the scenes doing a bunch of producery things for the stuff that our department does at the Bell Creative Agency, like That Much Closers and sort of artist IDs, things of that nature. Max was actually invited to the show.
I was a presenter. Mike D and I got to present something with Liz Trenier.
So Max is presenting, and we have this opportunity because we're doing this podcast. Much is like, hey, do you guys want to have like your own room? So there's this sort of like backstage area where all of the media gets to hang out. So it's like Entertainment Tonight Canada, MTV.com. There's like an international press room. And then hilariously, Much hooked us up with our own like Mike on Much podcast sort of media room. And by room, it was like kind of like a closet.
It was more of a closet.
We were grateful for it.
Oh yeah, this is we're not slagging Much at all. The fact that we even got our own closet was pretty awesome.
Forever grateful.
Yeah.
So we get there and we start setting up, and we're both kind of pulling double duty because it's like I kind of got some other things that I'm doing that I would normally do for my job. Max is literally presenting at the award, but he's a great sport, so he gets there a couple hours early.
It was really fun because I've been to the awards a couple of times. There's a lot of schmoozing and people you don't even want to see really. So I was like, I'd rather just hang out with Mike and try to interview some celebrities, even though I'm supposed to be a celebrity.
So we're in the room and there's people coming through and we're like,
and we had high hopes. When we saw the red carpet, we're like, Gigi Hadid is going to love us.
As a producer, Max had his like list. He's like, I want Gigi Hadid, blah, 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 blah.
It just kind of stopped at Gigi Hadid.
Yeah, that was it, actually. He just wanted Gigi Hadid. No, but you'll get who sort of comes through. So we were very lucky. Debby Ryan was the first one. And Max, you were actually presenting while she did the interview.
Yeah, so I missed it. You were texting me like, we got Debby Ryan, get over here. And I was like, I'm busy.
Yeah, we got one. We got an interview because we sat around for a good hour just watching like... the
teleprompter.
Yeah, like watch Jason Derulo walk by and ignore our room.
Yeah. He did look cool though.
He looked very cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come in our room if I was Jason Derulo.
He's like, that closet? No way, Jose.
So we did that interview, which you guys will hear. Mm-hmm. She clears
What
out.
was she like, by the way?
She was great, actually.
Yeah?
She was just really loose and funny. And
I heard she laughed at one of your jokes. That's what Birchall told me.
Well, it was funny because I did the joke, but it was kind of like a quick switcheroo and like nobody reacted. Mm-hmm. And this is the first interview of the night. And I'm like, oh, we're off to a terrible start. Like these people are just staring at me. And then it was like 1 beat, 2 beat. And then she got it. She started laughing and I was
Connection
like,
was made.
Whew. I was like, yeah, it took a second there. And then I felt settled. And by the way, a little detail, I'm in a full tuxedo.
Because you always wear tuxedos, right?
Well, that's how I roll. Yeah. No, so
People always say Mike's the sharpest guy in the office. He wears a tuxedo every day.
Yeah, that man dresses for success, or he's insane. Anyway, I'm sitting in this closet in a tuxedo because You'll hear all about it because it ties into Shane's story at the end. Shane and I were both in tuxedos, but Shane wasn't with me at this point. He was doing his own thing at another part of the awards.
So I'm looking like a cool guy. You're wearing a tuxedo for some reason.
We were an odd twosome. So after Debby Ryan, Tyler Posey comes in from MTV's Teen Wolf.
And that dude's got charisma.
He was like a ball of fire. Like he just rolled in.
He's telling stories. He's like the most charming guy there.
You'll hear all about it.
Yeah.
And then after Tyler Posey, we get Shawn Mendes. And so set it up, Max.
Yeah, so a little backstory. So our publicist, Shelly at Universal, who is awesome, she also reps Shawn Mendes. So I've been bugging her to say the Mike on Much needs a Shawn Mendes interview, and she's like, Max, will you respond to me about the Arkells request that I've been asking? I'm like, I don't got time for that. We need Mendes. So then she'd be like, okay, maybe at the Junos, this dude is like the most hyped new artist in the world. I use the word hyped. Who the hell uses the word hyped? And he gets tons of press requests, but maybe at the Junos you can like be pals with him. And I was like, okay. So at the Junos, I see him in the hallway. I'm like, hey, Shawn Arkells, how's it going? Oh, we had to do the signing at Lime Ridge Mall, like where a bunch of the Juno artists were there and a bunch of screaming children were there.
Yeah.
And none of them knew who the Arkells were, but they all were there for Shawn Mendes. So I covered a Shawn Mendes song.
That's a smart play.
It was a smart play, and they all liked it. All the kids liked it. So I was like, Shawn, do you hear that I covered your song? And he's like, who's this grown man trying to impress me? And then we won at the Junos, and then we were walking down the aisle to get to the stage, and Shawn Mendes was to the right. So I did the thing where I went on my way to like high five him or like handshake him and do like a bro hug thing.
I saw that on TV.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah, as a producer move. So this is all setting the scene for can we get Shawn on the Mike on Much podcast? So then the MMVAs roll around, and I'm like, Shelly, we got a closet set up. Will Shawn come out and hang out in our closet? And Shelly totally came through. She spurned the rest of the media.
It's true.
And she said the only press Shawn is doing is with the Mike on Much podcast. So we got 5 minutes with Shawn.
So basically, we like to do long form interviews. Like we would have loved to have talked to Debby or Tyler or Shawn for an extended period.
But what happened was there was a publicist. There was one small little window at the bottom of the door frame.
Yeah, so the door would shut and there was like a little window like on a submarine, like a little circle.
Yes.
And so like at about the 4-minute mark, the lady that was running the press room would come down and she'd give us the wrap it up sign through the window.
Yeah, and we'd try to ignore her, but then because we're sort of mama's boys, we'd be like, okay, we gotta go.
Play by the rules. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great time.
We did not get Gigi Hadid.
Or Fall Out Boy.
Or Jason Derulo.
Or Nate Roos.
Or Ed Sheeran.
No. But we're very happy with the way the episode turned out. And one last thing, Shelly, who really did come through, who's your and Shawn's publicist, didn't she say a little something?
Yeah, she said to me, you owe me. And then I said, you'd never say that to Shawn Mendes. Respect me. Our record just went gold.
Is that true?
It did just go gold.
Congrats, Max.
But it wasn't gold at the time, so it was worth nothing to her.
No, she didn't care at all.
Yeah, but if that had happened today.
Now you're gold.
Yeah.
With Shawn Mendes.
Shawn Mendes is probably like a diamond.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. We asked for a smaller room, but this is what we got.
Living in luxury.
Yes.
Yes. One of y'all wanna?
Yeah, so modest.
Well,
I can't mention that.
Guys, how was it?
And we're rolling.
I mean, a little bit disappointing that people can't see your incredible tuxedo look.
Oh, I know. They put me in this closet here, and I know. But thank you for you
look
noticed that
so
you see it.
nice.
They did
yeah.
give you a
This
bigger
whole thing-
room.
I mean, you kind of
They
steal
probably
my
saw the
look.
tux. We're like, all right, this guy.
Yeah.
We'll give him a bigger room.
No, you know what? It doesn't matter that I'm in a small room. I'm like, I out of respect for the guests, I want to dress up.
It feels
Fair.
intimate.
Yeah.
You stole my look.
It's
But
true, but you're better. You're pulling
Wait,
it
does this
off way
button
better than I
activate
am.
all the candles?
no, don't
Yeah.
push that on me.
Welcome. Yes.
Welcome.
Steak tartare.
I'm here.
But
Yeah, no, we've
You
been
guys
having
walked the
fun.
red carpet?
We walked.
Yeah.
We like mostly scurried.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people and screaming. I turned around and there was a man in a Speedo at one point.
I told my father not to come, but it is Father's Day. Here's the thing: when you guys come to red carpet like that, is there?
Yo, that was so subtle.
I was like, I don't think they caught it, but I'm gonna keep it moving. So when you're on a red carpet like that, I mean, do you guys find it like incredibly intimidating with all of the screaming, or do you guys sort of?
You know, I
relish
think
it?
that like if there were 3 screams, I would hide. But when it's like a wall of them, it all kind of blends into one massive collective scream,
it's
which
like, all right.
it's a lot more comforting than you think that it would be. It's nice. I have like a Scream app. I fall asleep
Because
to the sound.
one versus three. It's one giant scream versus three.
Correct.
Like, intense screams.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah,
And so, like, screams are comforting then? You said you have a Scream app that you fall asleep to?
Yeah, I fall asleep to the sound of just like a fan adoration. I mean, it's mostly like I paid my mom and like my grandma and these guys to come in and just like scream, and I looped
Record
it a
some
bunch of
screams?
times. Yeah, but like it makes me feel adored. It makes me
can
feel
imagine.
validated.
Pumps up the self-confidence. Some
Yeah.
people fall asleep to the undulating of the ocean. You enjoy the
Sure.
screams of
Yeah,
adoration.
no, the ocean, that would be stressful.
That would feel intimidating.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we're gonna be real, I do have like pretty serious social anxiety, which is really funny and interesting that I have done what I've done. And I started acting because it felt like hiding in plain sight. It felt like being able to say, okay, here I am, but you're hiding behind a character and you're feeling emotions and people are watching you break your own heart and laugh and experience life, but ultimately they're seeing a character do it, so they can't tell you that you're wrong in the way that you interpret those feelings.
Right.
And so the problem is, and the beauty is that with that comes a lot of public attention. And I don't know, I'm really glad that the boys came with me. They're kind of like to do it with your best friends, it's so much easier.
Sure.
Because for years, it was just like me on that carpet and you feel like you're like almost against like a firing squad. It's everyone's screaming and they're yelling and you're standing there like nothing I do is gonna be good enough. Like it's terrifying to me. And I definitely like hyperventilate and like loop around the car and the block like a couple times. And then, you breathe through it and you focus on one thing at a time and you focus on like, for me, it's about like why I do it. And being here and really representing the band for the first time, we've been secretly kind of working on this undercover in our tiny lockouts in our studios in LA, really doing it, with ourselves and making sure that it's really what we want to present to the world. And so now, kind of as a band, really for the first time stepping out at an event and something as epic and fun and awesome as the MMVAs has been so cool because I actually watched it. I lived in Vancouver for a bit because I was working.
Yeah.
So I'm a little more in tune with Canadian culture than a lot of people in a weird way, as far as like a lot of like Americans, I guess. But even people that have never, really tuned in. There are tons of people who watch the MMVAs in LA. So all of our families and all of our friends were so excited that we're going to be here.
I mean, with things like acting and
Yeah.
sort of music, it seems like that's, to get to the heart of it, you love doing the creative, but then this other stuff, like coming out to events like this, where there's
Sure.
like people streaming, you're talking about this anxiety. Do you see that as sort of like a necessary evil to be able to do the creative stuff? Like it's almost like that's the work part? Or is there a part of you that does enjoy it, even though you do have the anxiety?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, it's a necessary evil, but what's so cool is when you get down to it, people are screaming and people are stopping me in the street and people are whatever because the work that I did in a tiny little soundstage and the work that we're doing in tiny little studios that are songs birthed out of broken hearts and crazy relationships and falling in love, like these really personal experiences that we're putting out there, people around the world scream and freak out because that has touched them and
Because they're
affected
connecting
them.
with something you're
yeah,
doing.
and so if you think about it as being screamed at, of course it's terrifying. If you think about it as people being so passionate about the fact that you are there and sharing what you share with them, it really, I think it's about perspective, I guess.
All right, well, what are you guys going to do with the rest of your time in Toronto?
I'm going to take a really good nap.
Nice,
Like
okay.
a really good
Yeah.
one.
Kensington Market.
There you go. Load up on the
Skate.
clothes, bring
Load
back to
up on
LA.
the coast.
Johnny brought a skateboard and he literally all night just like skated around the city.
love
He
it
got
for
lost.
him.
We didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Hear from him for like 2 hours.
My
Yeah.
perception of Toronto is it's like if New York City and Seattle had a baby,
Yeah.
and that baby grew up to a really kind and well-rounded human. That's Toronto to me.
We'll take that as a compliment.
It is
And,
it's a
Which is
biggest compliment.
that you just proved the point.
Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. And
course.
enjoy the rest of your night.
Hey, I'm Max.
Hey, buddy, Tyler.
Good to meet you.
Wait, did we not meet
We
earlier?
might have met earlier. I'm presenting.
She presented-
I'm in a band called Arkells, but I'm also helping with this podcast.
Yeah.
He wears two hats. He's producing the podcast, but he's also a presenter.
You guys wrote down a question in one of those things, and I answered your question.
Oh, okay. So we did this thing where
I'm closing the.
yeah, close the door.
Close that shit.
That's so obnoxious that you got my question.
got-
'Cause it's
I
an
got-
obnoxious question. So the question was, what's a question that you hate getting? So the question I hate getting is, where did the name Arkells come from? But it's you have to give it for the next person to answer.
Got you.
So you got it.
And I got it. And you want to hear my answer?
Whoa, yeah. What was your answer?
This is what it was. I was like, okay, well, I pretended that I was in the band. I was in your band, And so I was like, all right, well, how this band name got started is that we were all skateboarders. I was skateboarding, and I did a trick, and it hurt my Achilles tendon. And I was like, ow, my Achilles, ah! And then somebody was like, did you just say...
Honestly,
pretty quick.
I'm gonna go with that whenever anybody asks me. I'm gonna go with a skateboarder story.
I was like, Achilles, R. And then he switched it around, and it happened.
You know what?
It flowed somehow.
Did the yes and like improv, or because that was a pretty good thing to come up with?
It was very improv.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quick sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm quick at like dick jokes. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're in a closet right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, do you have an example of a dick joke?
Yeah, I'm just gonna show you my penis.
No, yeah.
And you're gonna
holy
laugh.
shit, he just pulled it out.
There it is.
Yep.
And you're laughing.
Ta-da. What was your next question that you asked?
I get this question all the time, and it actually it's kind of what inspired me to. So I host things, and I'm kind of an aspiring host, and I interview bands, and I met Echo Smith and Tori Kelly because I did this MTV Artist to Watch thing, and I interviewed all these people. And one of the worst questions is, what's the craziest prank you've ever played on set? Because like people want to get insight in the backstage and behind the scenes and all that, but the prank thing is just like, what am I in third grade? I don't pull pranks. We have a lot of fun.
But it's a job, and I'm trying to take the job seriously.
It's seriously, and we still have a lot of fun. But like I don't know. I never have any. I don't do any pranks. I'm just not a prankster.
Yeah.
I'm like naturally funny, and we do funny shit. But like, I was just never done a prank. So that was my question. So I'm curious to see who gets that one.
I wonder like what sort of pranks like Gigi Hadid plays on like Taylor Swift.
A lot of ball sweat, I've heard.
That's how she rolls?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God.
With like an event like this, like you said, people want to see behind the scenes. They want to know all that. So
Right.
like for you coming up to Toronto and sort of doing the MMVAs, walk us a bit through what that looks like. Like, how do you first find out you're coming up here to do this?
Oh man, this was actually really huge for me. I spent 4 years of my life in Toronto when I was a kid. From 8 years old to 12, I was filming a TV show here, and I haven't been back since. And
What was the show?
Doc. It was called Doc, starring Billy Ray Cyrus. And,
Oh, okay.
It's an old school
I remember
show.
that.
Do you really?
It was like yeah, like it's like a distant memory, but I remember it
Yeah.
was like it shot up here,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
Where did you live when you were in
Years
Toronto?
ago, I lived all over the place. I lived on Bay Street, this apartment complex, and then I had a place at the Westin, the Sutton Place.
How was Billy Ray?
Billy was great, man.
Yeah, was Miley around a lot?
Sweet. Miley was actually, and we became friends. We were the only kid because he brought his family with him, and I was 8, she was 7 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And we became really good friends. Wow. And
were your parents up here with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they just moved up to Toronto.
Pretty much.
I mean, were your parents? I mean, you've been acting from a really young age.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you played Jennifer Lopez's son in
Right.
Made in Manhattan.
I was like 10. I was like
Yeah,
13 years
that's
ago.
my
Do you still
favorite
keep in
movie.
touch with J-Lo?
No way.
No,
I
I'm kidding.
don't. What do you mean you're kidding?
No, I loved it.
I'm
kidding.
leaving.
Ray Fiennes is one of my favorite actors. He
I'm
played
leaving.
the guy, right?
He did play the guy.
There you go. All right.
That's his
I'm
character
pulling
name,
from the
actually.
way back bank here.
You are, dude.
But I mean, so did your parents from like a very early age like encourage acting?
Yeah. My dad is an actor and a writer and has been since not too long before I was born. And so, as soon as I was old enough, he would bring me to set to kind of babysit me. If my mom was busy, he would bring me to sets with him, and I was just really enamored by the whole thing. I wouldn't fall asleep. I'd be there for 12 hours on end, and I would just be kind of interested in the whole entire process. And so he was like, well, this is interesting, and he took me to a couple auditions, and then literally ever since then, man, I've been working.
Has he taken on an active role as like a coach when you were younger?
Absolutely, and still is, man. Whenever I need help with anything, I go
Great
to him.
character.
And-
You guys will chat about it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah, and it's a great thing that we have with each other, and we're best friends, and it's perfect, man. It's a great scenario.
So they move up here with you.
My mom moved up here with me for 4 years, but like we would go back and forth, and the longest we were here was like 9 months on end. And then my brothers moved up here with me, and my dad was busy at home acting and producing and writing. And
Was he in anything that we?
he did. He's
No?
done literally every guest spot ever. He's Seinfeld, Cheers, Frasier.
Oh, wow.
Was he in Frasier? Something like that.
So working actor, all these great guest
absolutely.
spots. Yeah.
Always guest spotting on stuff. So you definitely know him. If
Yeah.
you see him, you would know him. But yeah, man, my mom moved up here with me, and we had a great time with each other, and I literally fell in love with Toronto, and I haven't been back since. So this is a huge moment for me, man.
So you found out that you're gonna have an opportunity to be at the MMVAs.
Yeah.
And how many people like do you travel with when you come up to one of these like circuit
I'm
function
super
things?
low key. I don't bring a posse with me. I've got one of my best buddies here with me, and that's it. It's just he and I.
Is he just your friend? Just
Yeah.
to be like, I need more like moral support kind of thing?
Yeah, well, just
Or just someone to party with after
just
the party.
Someone to party with, someone to have fun. I didn't want to come here alone, and I don't like coming with a posse. I don't like coming with my reps, because I can handle my own, and yeah, I just wanted. He's a great buddy of mine, and I wanted to bring him with me, and he's never really been to anything like this before.
Oh, that's so nice. That's amazing.
It's a great experience. That's one of my favorite parts about doing what I do. I have all these hometown friends that I grew up with, before I quote unquote got famous and shit, and I love bringing them to these places and just seeing them experience it, because people who don't experience this stuff like day in and day out like we do, it's really interesting to see them react to it.
It's magical.
It really is, and they love it. And they're really appreciative of it. So it's a good moment. It is magical, man. It really is for them. It's huge moment.
Well, we're being told to wrap up. Otherwise, I think we could chat for a long time. I know. It's killing me.
Son of a bitch.
Here's the thing. This is normally a long format podcast where we talk for half hour. We get into lineage, we've talked to.
So you guys have your own podcast?
This is our show on Much. Yeah, Max produces. We host.
Incredible, man. I just started my own podcast too.
You were saying you interview bands. Well, next time you're up, or if we get you on the phone, we'd love to do a good half hour, 40 minutes with you because.
Homie, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely, dude.
All right.
Okay. One more question. We got one more question. All right. So what is your health regimen when you're traveling?
I don't have one, man.
You don't. I guess
drink
he's
a lot
young enough that he doesn't have to worry.
So you don't work out or anything like that?
I can get away with it. No, I don't work out. I poop a lot. That's literally my working out.
That's the key.
That's the key. You poop and you're look at me.
I'm starting to eat healthier, and I know I need to eat healthier, but I don't.
So you're not at 6 a.m. We won't see you at the Four Seasons gym, just pumping iron.
No, hell no. You'll see me passed out in the bar with a sandwich in my hand.
All right, we'll see you at the Horseshoe after. That's the after party.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, man. He's getting up. He's singing some songs.
Are you really?
You got to get up and sing some songs.
Do you know Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones? There'll be a bunch that you'll know.
Yeah.
Get up.
Get on up.
Okay, dude. If you let me, I will.
It's an open invitation, man.
This is great, man.
All right, thanks.
Good, man.
Yeah?
Chilling in this crazy closet.
Yeah, how you been?
Good, man. Really good.
What was it like? I mean, your first MMVA is performing.
Awesome. Really awesome. Really cool. The crowd was electric, and first time with a band, really, like a real band, and yeah, it was really fun.
It's fascinating because a lot of people want to see they want to look behind the scenes and know what that kind of experience is like. What was the moment that you found out you were asked to perform? Who told you?
It actually wasn't very long ago. It was and I there's a guy named Tony who works at Universal Music, and I always like to say man, I gotta perform at the MMVAs. You gotta make it happen. I gotta make it happen. He's like, I got you. So one day I'm like, hey man, MMVAs, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, awesome. That's cool.
So I know Dan Cantor.
Yeah, he's the man.
And Dan is the man. And for our listeners, Dan is the musical kind of a director for Justin Bieber.
Right, and he did my band today.
And I knew he was working with you. So how does that work when you're preparing for an award show like this, a performance at an award show? What sort of conversations do you have with Dan to say this is kind of what I want to convey during the
I think Dan did a really good job of just kind of figuring out on his own what I would like, and then when we met up at a rehearsal space, and I kind of just added a couple little things, and it was pretty much perfect. He had the vision. We basically just reproduced the song in a cool kind of still acoustic style way with real band and real music, so it was really fun.
How does getting your band, how did your band come together? Was it rehearsals or auditions? Or?
Yeah, there was a couple auditions, but I mean, I know a piano player and a guy I write a lot of songs with. His name's Max. He actually knew a couple of the guys, the drummer. And Dan knew a couple guys. They all came together really quick, and we gel really well.
Yeah, when you're building a band, I mean, what matters more to you, the musicianship or the chemistry, or does it have to be a marriage of both?
It has to be a marriage of both, definitely. I think if no matter how good your band is, if you have no chemistry with them, it's going to be shitty,
Yeah.
But if you have really good chemistry, and it's I'd honestly prefer really good chemistry. But I think, we have that. I gelled really well with the band tonight, yeah.
So when it comes to, because you've been touring everywhere, I know you spent a bunch of time in Canada, but in the States, are there any particular places that you're sort of oh my God, the people are really connecting with the tunes, I'm in Arizona or something? Is there any place in particular that sticks out to you?
Well, I did my first arena show in Connecticut the other day.
Was it your show? Or was it?
My own headline show, 8,000 people.
Wow.
Sold
How many
out.
people?
8,000. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Makes me sick.
It was good, man. I really.
How long is your set?
An hour.
Oh my God. Are you throwing any covers in there?
Any covers?
Yeah, there's one, Thinking Out Loud, and I do Alicia Keys' Fallen.
Wow.
Yes.
And so after the set, are you like, okay, this worked, this didn't work, this
Totally.
worked?
Every
Is it-
show.
Every show.
Every show is different.
And who are you leaning on, like, to give you that sort of confidence, but also just like, hey, what did you think of that part of the
Yeah.
set?
So honestly, I've pulled out fans from the audience and like asked them.
Oh, really? A little
Yeah.
like market research? of the
Yeah,
crowd?
yeah, and it works. They let you know what they liked, that you know what they didn't really like, and
8,000 people in Connecticut. Oh,
yeah.
What a life.
we're so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
amazing.
You. Yeah.
All right, I know you gotta go.
Yeah. Have a
Thanks,
great
guys.
night.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks,
cheers.
Shawn.
Great job tonight.
Don't get claustrophobic in here.
I know.
Just leave.
I might die in here, actually.
Just burst out.
This is actually where the after party, the official after party is
After
in
party
here.
here, yeah.
I'm gonna get you guys some vodka.
Appreciate
Bring it
it.
in.
Shane, how's it going?
Very good.
That's good. So this is the MMVA special.
It is. It's exciting.
What did you do for the MMVAs?
It was one of the busiest days of my life. I guess the easiest thing I had to do was shoot a Bud Light commercial.
Yes.
So I had 1 hour to shoot a Bud Light commercial and have it go to air afterwards. Immediately after that, I had to walk the red carpet in a tuxedo as like one of the creators.
We walked together.
You and I walked together. No one, not a single soul knows who the we are. Like barely people who work in the building know who we are. Like I don't talk to anybody in the building except for like you and Max when he's always in the building. But like I'm just like awkwardly walking the red carpet as no one is giving a shit. And then I'm also filming a Streeter segment at the same time, in unison with this. So I'm trying to be funny because there's a cameraman videotaping me supposedly being funny. So I'm like fake signing I'm forcibly signing a bunch of kids' papers for autographs who do not want my autograph at all. And I'm hopping in photos with celebrities who are taking selfies.
I was on the red carpet with Shane, and they're filming us, and I kind of lose him for a minute because I'm kind of walking, and it is very weird and uncomfortable. And then I turn around, and I realize Shane's not with me, and I look over, and I see that Bella Thorne is signing papers, and Shane's leaning in beside her, signing a paper, but trying to get into the shot with Bella Thorne.
Oh, I got into the shot.
Oh, you did. I exploded laughing, and she was just there, and I guess she thought you were somebody. And
She was like, okay.
I'm a
I was
big
like,
star.
I'm on the red carpet. Like, she doesn't know who I am. So I walk the red carpet awkwardly. Then I grab my microphone. I do an interview for the Streeter segment. I get a mini little interview with Nick Jonas. And then the hockey player dude, I talked to him for a bit. He didn't like me either. Like the world's best hockey player was Connor McDavid.
Yeah, the number
He
one
didn't like
overall.
me at all.
So you were a real hit
You
on the
really
red
making
carpet.
an impression on all the guests.
Just for some context, Shane and I were both in matching tuxedos because sometime before the MMVAs, do you want to set this up? It's your segment.
Even thinking about this is giving me extreme anxiety. It was one of the worst days of my life, in case I haven't mentioned that already. But
Well, I'll give it a little bit of context. So Mike and Shane call me and say, hey, we are going to be the official MCs of the after party. So we're going to go introduce the sheepdogs, who are like the surprise guests at the after party. There's a bunch of after parties at the MMVAs, but the coolest one is at the Horseshoe, and it's for all the staff that have been working the MMVAs. There's rumors swirling that Ed Sheeran is going to be there and might jump up on stage at 2 a.m. So the higher-ups at Much say, Shane and Mike, you guys are sort of, I know you're producers, but you're also sort of new talent. We want you to host the show. And you guys, you're telling me all this, and you say, and guess what, Max? We're also wearing tuxedos.
we called a meeting with one of the higher ups, and we're just like, we only have one demand. We wear tuxedos. And they were like, oh, okay, that's weird, but sure. So on the company card, like as if the expectations couldn't get any higher, we got Vero Wang tuxedos.
Are those fancy ones?
Yeah, they were like $500.
Oh my God.
To rent.
That's like half the
I
budget
ended
of
up
the
losing
show.
the vest also, by the way.
You did?
Yes. So I'm very nervous about this, but I'm also the MCing gig. But I'm somewhat confident because Mike and I, we have MC experience. We MC'd a wedding like a year prior, last summer, and we murdered it. Like we brought the house down like never before. People were hanging on our every word. Like
So what we do like for the wedding specifically is we get together and we'd like sort of write out a bunch of stuff. We'd like work out like a 5-minute bit. We'd rehearse the shit out of it. And then we'd basically get up there and do it like at the wedding was the plan.
I like to be super prepared when I'm doing stuff because I get unbelievably nervous for any time anyone's looking at me, let alone like if I'm talking on a microphone. Like I was nervous walking the red carpet, just people merely looking at me, let alone if you have something to say. So what Mike and I did for this MC gig. Every night we would get together and kind of write our bit out, and we would record it, and then we'd hear and we'd listen to what was f***ed up about it, rewrite it, perform it, until we finally had a recording that was good enough to listen to over and over and over again. And then this sounds psychotic, I realize this, but I'd listen to it in my sleep. So it would subconsciously get in my brain.
You had it on loop on your iPhone?
I had it on loop on my iPhone because I want it in my subconscious in case I freak out on stage. My brain will just be like, here's the next line. It's my brain's voice. So, and then as the final precaution, because you sent us kind of a worrisome email, Max.
What did I say?
You were like, guys, this isn't like a wedding. Like people might be drunk. They might not be listening to you ever were.
The horseshoe isn't like necessarily Massey Hall in terms of, focus on the stage.
I instantly pissed my pants upon hearing this information. So we have to perform it for you now.
Oh, yeah. So
Max was the judge.
So Max comes over and we perform the hell out of this MC routine.
I loved it. It was amazing.
You're like, don't change a thing, guys. This is perfect. I'm on cloud 9. I'm like, this guy in this arena band, the 4 Junos. Like, we're going to fucking kill this. I'm like drunk on happiness. I send Mike an email. I'm like, no matter what, we kill this tomorrow. I don't give a shit. It's like, for sure. So the moment's about to happen. Like, I've done my commercial. I've done the streeters. Now it's just waiting for our moment to go on stage. The second I walk into the horseshoe, this eerie feeling goes over me. The vibe is not right. Like, these people are not going to give a shit about us. No. I'm like, f*** it. Let's just not do it at all. Like, f*** it. But I know we're going to do it. I just know. We've practiced too much. We're past the point of no return. We're wearing the fucking tuxes. We're sweating our asses off.
To justify that purchase.
It was very hot.
I don't say a word to anyone. I just go under the air conditioner and space out and just think about every line I'm going to say. Well, Mike's kind of just schmoozing and hanging with his girlfriend. Anyways, look at the stage, and the band guys are just walking on. Like, they're just about to play. I'm like,
and you were supposed to introduce
We're supposed to introduce this whole show.
Thought it'd be like more organized, and that's like, now you guys, it's start the night, and then the band will go on. But then the band's just going on.
The band's just going on. So I do like a thank God in my mind. I'm like, we're not going to have to do it. But Mike is like the consummate performer. Like, he's toured with Headley and everything. So he's like, no, I'm getting on stage. So he goes up and talks to the band. He's like, no. We got a little bit to do beforehand. Guy's like, oh, totally cool. Go do your bit.
What it is that I was like, it's an exchange of goods. It's like, we were given the tuxes. We need to do our half of the bargain.
It's just a testament to your professionalism. Like, you're the true pro. And I'm like, if it goes remotely bad, bail shit. But you're like, no, let's do this. So we had this stupid opening bit where Mike's supposed to go like, are you guys ready to party? Like, the whole like, I can't hear you.
Making fun of when people do that as MCs.
Mm-hmm. But I had a dream, like a horrible nightmare I should call it, the night before, where Mike goes, are you guys ready to party? And then I'm supposed to yell into the mic, I don't think you heard the man. He asked, are you guys ready to party? But in the nightmare, I yelled so loud, the mic went, and did that thing. And it was
the feedback thing.
The feedback thing. So in real life, I'm like, don't do the nightmare thing. Hold the mic as far away from possible because you're going to yell at the top of your lungs, I don't think he heard you. He said, are you guys ready to party? So I yell that, and then people in the crowd are like, we can't hear what you're saying. And then, so I think the mic is broken. So I'm sweating my ass off. I just put the mic on the ground and grab another mic and start talking. But people are still like, we still can't hear you. And then a guy somehow, like the voice of God, comes in the PA. He's like, don't put the mic on the ground.
The sound guy was pissed.
The sound guy goes, pick up the mic. You can't do that. And he's like ripping me a new one from the thing. And then, so then Mike picks it up, and then I just go, this. I go, F this shit. I don't want to do it.
That part you managed to say into the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody heard you publicly bail on the performance.
Yeah. Then the thing ends to like no applause, nothing. It's just like awkward. We walk off, like not off stage. We like walk and we hide in the backstage to go to the washroom. And Mike and I are just in total disbelief. We're like, what the happened? Looking at each other. We're like, that was the worst fucking shit ever. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Let's just hide in the washroom. We go down to the washroom and splash water on our faces and just like we're humiliated and we're pacing and we don't even want to see anyone in the washroom. So I'm like, I'm just going to go hide in the stall. So I'm sitting in the stall hiding. And then someone walks in who I believe was Mike's brother, Greg. And he's like, oh man, Shane has no mic technique whatsoever. He's like, he bombed that. And I'm just like in the stall, like fuming, like I'm basically crying in the stall. And I'm like, okay, I'm just staying here all night. I'm not coming out. I'm just going to be here till the janitor shows up. And then I had to like motivate myself. I was like, who gives a shit? Everyone's fucked up. Everyone's so drunk this MMVA night. Just go upstairs, pretend like nothing happened.
That's the move.
And just own it. Like make fun of it. But then when I walk upstairs, Mike had left the washroom at this point too. And then you were just giving Mike like a motivational speech.
I was,
like
yeah.
at the top. And I presumably like, don't worry, Shane, this up. You would have killed it. But yeah, and then I just proceeded to use all my drink tickets. We got paid in drink tickets.
Yes, and tuxedos. Don't forget.
And tuxedos to get obliterated.
But here's the thing. When you guys did the routine for me, I thought you guys were sort of loud and bombastic enough to capture the crowd, but I probably miscalculated it too. Like I thought.
So I think it's Max's fault mostly.
You us. Yeah, totally.
Producer Max, at your service.
So that was the MMVA night.
One of the most humiliating experiences of my entire life.
It was a good learning experience though.
Yeah, I guess.
And that is our MMVA special.
Ta-da, we did it.
Max, what are your thoughts?
Well, the Shane story will hopefully be an inspirational one for young entertainers.
Don't make the mistakes we made.
Yeah, exactly. It's a learning tale.
Yep.
Or something.
We want to thank all of our guests, Debby Ryan, Tyler Posey, and Shawn Mendes.
You can find us online on Twitter and Instagram at Mike on Much. Our website is much.com/Mike on Much. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell all your friends.
All the artwork for the Mike on Much podcast is done by Jenna Gregory. You can find her work at jennasdoodles.com. The Mike on Much podcast is produced by Max Kerman, and I am your host, Mike Veerman. See you next week if we don't die on the weekend.